Accessoride is tied to the bus system. And I think one of the things that we have heard from many disabled New Yorkers is the importance of ensuring that it is a system that is actually dependable. And we've seen that ridership with Accessoride has increased. I think that is something to be celebrated. I think we have to continue to not rest on our laurels, however, and ensure that we're actually delivering the best kind of service. Because even when it comes back to buses or Accessoride or frankly public transit as a whole, you cannot convince New Yorkers to use these forms of transportation unless they can see in the example of that transportation that it is in fact the most convenient, most reliable, safest form of transit in the city.
That's where people like to crowd places with the universal out is food that's where accessible to many constituent New Yorkers.
I think the key thing is twofold. One is when we fought to make 5 bus routes free in New York City a few years ago in Albany at the state legislature, we heard at that time concerns that would this not increase homelessness on those buses that you then made free. And what we found after the end of our pilot, of a year-long pilot, is that there was no increase in homelessness on those buses. What there was, however, was an increase in ridership. There was an increase in public safety because of a decrease in assaults on bus operators, and there was actually an increase in New Yorkers who would otherwise be taking a private vehicle, taking the bus instead. And I think the issues that you've raised that disabled New Yorkers are facing those issues in tandem with facing the issues that every New Yorker faces. So if you're a disabled New Yorker, it doesn't mean that you are protected from the affordability crisis and all you have to think or worry about is how you navigate the city with your disability. You also have to navigate this cost of living crisis. And so when you make buses free, you are also addressing the economic needs of disabled New Yorkers who would otherwise use the bus that are now having to take another means of transportation or not travel at all. And what we've seen time and time again is that transportation is the second highest barrier to employment for disabled New Yorkers. And when we ask ourselves why there's disproportionate levels of unemployment amongst disabled New Yorkers, if we're serious about tackling that, we have to take on these kinds of barriers to entry.